Blessings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a full moon in Aries that's happening today when I post this video, or it's actually yesterday, but it's coming up. So around this time. So we do have a full moon in Aries, so I have created this full moon in Aries practice today. And Aries is really the first sign in the zodiac. And for this full moon, what it really wants you to focus on is taking new direction and trusting your instinct and taking up space and having confidence in taking up that space that you need. We also want to be able to follow our passions and do what makes us feel alive, and that's really what this full moon in Aries is asking us to focus on, is to look at those new beginnings and to see where we can follow our intuition, what brings us passion, what makes us feel alive, what do we want to follow, and just to really be brave and to be bold and to take risks and to go for it. So we have this fun little practice that we'll do today where we will practice some warrior poses and also a starfish pose to take up space and to really embody that. So for tools, if you have blankets, or doesn't necessarily have to be a yoga blanket, so any blanket's fine. A pillow if you'd like a pillow, maybe some blocks. So just the normal stuff. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So, I also have Fritz here, who's probably going to interrupt several times. Sam is also here, but he's over there somewhere. So we are going to start in a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you have a blanket, you can bring a blanket underneath your hips. That's just going to bring them up a little bit and bring your knees down a little bit too. So we'll start with just getting ourselves grounded and centered. If you'd like to set an intention for today's practice, feel free to. It may be in the spirit of this full moon in Aries. Maybe you set an intention that you want to take risks, that you want to be bold. Maybe we'll do some poses today that you haven't done before, and you want to risk trying them out. Or maybe just taking up space. Or even following your instincts within certain poses, modifying them as needed. So really set your intentions about what you want today's practice to embody and what maybe your intention for this upcoming full moon is. And if you can't think of anything, no worries, you don't have to. It's not a big deal. So go ahead and you can let your hands fall wherever you'd like. So you can down the knees, palms facing up or down, up to you. Usually down is more of a grounding symbol. Facing up is more of that receiving. So whatever you feel like you need today. I know I need to do some grounding. Sam agrees. And if you'd like, you can soften your gaze or you can close your eyes. Again, whatever feels good to you today. And really start to focus on your breathing. So really feel that inhale and follow it as it flows through your body. And then as you exhale, focus on the path that it takes to exit your body. As you inhale, you could also focus on the way the air feels, the coolness of it. And then as you exhale through your nose or mouth, you can focus on the warmth of the breath, feeling it leave your body. Today we're going to go ahead and try some box breathing. We've done it before, but we'll try it again today. So box breathing is where you'll inhale for a count of 4. When you get to the top, you'll hold for a count of 4. You'll exhale for a count of 4. And then you'll hold at the bottom let's go ahead and take one more breath just to prepare. So a nice big inhale. And then exhale, just let it all out. Let it go. Alright, so I'll keep count. So we'll inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. The last time through. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let it all go. Just take a nice big inhale. Exhale to let it all go. And just return back to your normal breathing. Just take a few breaths here. Feel. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. You could say hello to Sam, who's coming to say hello. Fritz is always here, but Sam is coming to join us today. And we're going to start to warm up our body. I'm going to go warm up my body. Sit down. Alright, so let's take a little bit of let's warm up our spine a little bit. So go ahead and extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. Let's bring our right palm to the floor. Inhale, stretch up nice and long and tall. And on an exhale, bend or come across that midline towards the right and feel a nice bend. Now only go as far as feels comfortable to you. Don't push it or force it. And make sure your chest is spinning up towards the ceiling. And breathe. You should feel a nice stretch in this left hand side. On your next inhale, straighten. And on your exhale, let it go. We'll take a couple breaths here. Compare both of your sides, your left and your right sides. Alright, when you're ready, let's go ahead and place our left hand to the mat. Extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, cross that midline, bending over to the left. Again, make sure you're not collapsing through your chest or your neck. Only go as far as it feels good to you. So it may depend on the day. But you should be feeling a nice stretch to this right side. next inhale, return towards the center. And on an exhale, let it go. Breathe out. All right, so we've warmed up our sides a little bit. Take a few breaths, just compare your two sides here. We're going to warm up our spine a little bit more. So on your next inhale, go ahead and place your left hand on your right knee. We're going to take our right fingertips and swim them around to the right. On an inhale, sit up nice and tall. And on an exhale, twist towards your right. Inhale, sit up nice and tall again. Exhale, see if you can come a little bit more into the twist. And if not, that's okay. We'll just keep breathing there. I'm going to try and avoid Fritz. Again, lift up nice and proud and tall through your chest. Embodying that confident warrior. Take one more inhale, and on your next exhale, go ahead and return to center. And again, we'll take a couple breaths here. Compare both sides. See if you can notice anything. Maybe you did before. One side feels longer than the other. Maybe one side feels looser than the other. But we're going to do the other side, so we'll see how it compares. So keep a snapshot in your mind about how your body feels right now, and then we'll compare here in a minute. Go ahead and take your right hand to your left knee, and we'll take our left fingertips, swim them around behind us. Inhale, sit up nice and straight and tall. Exhale, turn towards the left. Inhale, maybe sit up a little straighter. And on your next exhale, maybe turn a little more. Again, don't push or force yourself into any of the postures. Only go as far as it feels right in your body too. Take one more big breath in. And on your exhale, return back to center. Now take a couple breaths here and just compare our two sides again. Right, when you're ready, we're going to transition into a tabletop position. So go ahead and come to your hands and knees. If your knees are a little sensitive, you can keep your blanket and you can use that to pad underneath your knees. Otherwise, you can just set it off to the side, so whatever feels good to you. Again, listen to your body, trust your instincts. And this time we're going to come to all fours. So, adjusting here. So go ahead and make sure your knees are underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. On an inhale, look forward, drop the lower ribs, lift the head and the hips up. We're going to come into a cow pose. Exhale, tuck the head, tuck the tail, round through the upper ribs. Press into the hands and into the tops of your feet. Cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tail, cow. Exhale, tuck the head, tuck the tail, round through the spine, cat. So do a few more just on your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling as it feels good to you. You can stay in one of the postures for as long as you'd like if it feels good to you. For a couple breaths or maybe even just one. Completely up to you again. Wherever you're at, go ahead and take one more. Then after your next exhale, go ahead and bring it to stillness. Bring it to a nice now from here, walk your palms, one palm print in front of where you're at, and then go ahead and tuck the toes under. Inhale, look forward, really press into your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger. Exhale, lift the knees off the ground just a little bit and hover. Take a breath here, so nice big inhale. And then on your exhale, straighten through the legs, shift the hips up and back, push through the hands. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Now if you'd like, you can walk your dog a little bit, bending through one leg and then the other. Just kind of giving it a little bit of a walk, stretching out our calves and our hamstrings and our quads. And after you've had enough of that, go ahead and bring it to stillness. On an inhale, look forward. We're going to make our way up to the top so you can take a couple of steps or as many steps as you need to. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, go ahead and let it go. Now this is where you can use your blocks if you like. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can also widen your feet a little bit. Make sure to keep a little bit of a bend in your knees. Make sure you're not locking out. But you should feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings from here. So make sure you're not collapsing and rounding your back. You want to keep your back nice and lengthened. A little bit of a bend. Breathe. In your next inhale, go ahead and hinge through the hips, lift up through the torso, bring your arms up above the head, nice big inhale, bring the palms to touch, and on an exhale, bring the hands to heart center. All right, so we are up in our mountain pose. Go ahead and loop your shoulders up, back, and down. Stand up nice and straight. Take any movements that you need. If you need to fix your clothes at all, go ahead and do that. Take a couple moments to here. Really ground through your feet. Feel that foot to earth connection. Keep a little bit of a bend in the knees. Make sure you're not locking them out. All right, and then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and step our left foot back and bring the toes out to kind of like a 45-degree angle. You're going to keep your hips nice and square to the front of your mat, and then bend through your right leg. Make sure it's in a nice 90-degree angle. So to set this up, we're going to come into a warrior one. Your front knee should be at a 90-degree angle. This knee should be pointing out towards your middle toes. You should be able to see your big toe. Also, your feet should be on like parallel train tracks. So think of like two skis. You should be able from the front to see both feet. And then this back leg should be nice and straight with your toes pointed more towards that left corner of your mat. Hips should be nice and square towards that front edge of your mat. Then you can bring your hands to your hips, or if you'd like, you can bring your arms up above the ears in the full posture. And make sure you're breathing. So nice and strong. So this is a warrior one. Keep your chest up nice and lifted. You should feel a nice stretch through both sides. On your next exhale, go ahead and lower your hands. And then we're going to step that left foot up to meet the right foot, and we're going to come back in mountain pose for a moment. So you can lift your shoulders up, back, and down. You can close the eyes if you'd like to. Keep your chest nice and tall and lifted. And just breathe. Again, compare both sides of the body just energetically. See how you feel. I'm going to take away this Frankenstein toy because it's super annoying. Hey, go lay down. Alright, now we're going to do the other side. So, we'll make sure our left foot is nice and grounded into the mat. And then let's step our right leg back. Make sure your toes are pointed out at that 45-degree angle. And again, make sure you have a nice bend through that left foot. Hips should be pointing towards the short edge of the mat. Feel a nice stretch in your right quad. At least that's where I'm feeling it. And keep your back nice and straight, chest lifted. Inhale, you can reach the arms up if it's in your practice. Make sure that you're not wearing your shoulders as earmuffs though. So make sure that your shoulders are pulled back and down away. And breathe. Really embody the warrior. Be brave, be bold, be fearless. Confident. Stand up nice and straight. On an exhale, go ahead and lower the arms down. You can breathe in one more time. And on your next exhale, go ahead and step it back up into your mountain pose. Take just a couple breaths here again. On your next inhale, go ahead and bend through your knees. Lift the hands up. Let the palms kiss overhead. And on an exhale, hinge at your hips, float your arms down, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll take a couple breaths here, this forward fold. On your next inhale, look forward. Make sure your hands are planted into the mat. Step the right foot back. We'll step our left foot back. And you can stay in this plank, or you can lower to your knees and come into a half plank. We're just going to take one breath here. And on your next exhale, go ahead and lower all the way down to the belly to the floor. Untuck the toes. And on an inhale, lift the chest and the head and the neck up. So your hands should be underneath your palms. So we're coming into a little bit of a baby cobra here. After your next exhale, go ahead and lower your forehead down to the floor. You can either push yourself back up to all fours, or you can tuck your toes under. Take a nice inhale here. And on your exhale, push up through plank. Take one breath here. And on your next exhale, shift your hips up, back, and down, coming into a downward facing dog. And breathe. Now from here, let's go ahead and lift our right foot up high to the sky. And on an exhale, bend that knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, and then step that foot in between your palms. And then you can hop your left foot in a little bit, and we're going to rise up with the torso. Now turn so your hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Again, you should have a nice bend in this right foot, or this right knee, 90 degrees. Make sure it's not coming over the foot. So nice 90-degree angle there. Your knee again should be pressing out towards your pinky toe, so you should be able to see your big toe. Hips should be in line with the long edge of your mat. And this back foot is on, again, a parallel track, should be at a 45-degree angle. So we're coming into this nice warrior two. Your hands can be on your hips, they can be in at your chest center, or if you'd like to take the full expression of the pose, you can bring your arms out to either side, pinkies facing back. Now if your arms are out at either side, make sure that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. So imagine there's a pencil in between your shoulder blades. And then make sure you're not drifting forward or back. Then you can look over your front fingers. So again, take up that energy of the warrior, the hunter. Your next inhale, if your hands are out, flip your left palm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift that left palm up towards the ceiling, all the way up. This is my right hand. Right palm up towards the ceiling, left palm up, and you can look up. So we're coming into a humble warrior. Keep breathing. And on your next exhale, go ahead and cartwheel the arms down. Spin on that left foot, so come onto the ball of the foot, and then place your palms down, so coming into a little bit of a low lunge here. Take a couple breaths here just to transition. And when you're ready, step that right foot back to meet the left foot, so we'll come in plank for just a moment. One more inhale here. And on an exhale, shift your hips up, back, and down, coming back into that downward facing dog. So we'll take a couple breaths here just to kind of cool down. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift this left foot up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, bend through that knee, shift your weight forward, and then we're going to step our left foot in between our hands. Go ahead and hop up on that right foot if you need to. And then we're going to rise up and then make our way into that warrior two on this side. So this time, your hips should be facing the long edge of your mat. That was the opposite way. Again, make sure your feet are in alignment. You've got a nice 90-degree bend. And again, your hands can be on your hips. They can be heart center. Or you can lift your palms out to the side. Again, squeezing that imaginary pencil in between your shoulder blades. And you can look over that front left arm and breathe. When you're ready, go ahead and flip the palm of your left hand up towards the ceiling. And on an inhale, take those fingers of the left palm up towards the ceiling, drop the fingers of your right hand down, and look up at that palm, that left palm up in the sky. So coming into a humble warrior, knees should still be bent. On your next inhale, come back through to warrior two. Take a breath here. Then on your next exhale, we're going to cartwheel our arms forward, spin on that back foot onto the toes, and then lower the torso down, coming into a nice low lunge. Your chest nice and lifted. We'll breathe here a little bit. And when you're ready, go ahead and step your left foot back to meet your right foot. We'll stay in plank for just one breath. So inhale, exhale, And then on your next exhale, go ahead and lower all the way down to the belly. You can untuck the toes. Again, make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. If you'd like to come up a little bit higher into a full cobra, you can press through the hands, straightening through the arms, and lift up a little higher. If you feel any crunchiness in your back though, if it hurts, lower down. You don't have to come all the way up. Make sure that your shoulders are coming up towards your ears, so your shoulders should be pressing down. And make sure you're breathing. One more breath here. And on an exhale, lower back down towards the floor. And go ahead and tuck your toes under. Again, you can push yourself up to all fours and come into a low plank. Or if you'd like, take a nice big inhale here. And on an exhale, push yourself up into that plank pose. Again, we'll take one breath here. Take one more inhale. And on your next exhale, shift your hips up, back, and down, coming into that downward facing dog again. We'll take just a couple breaths to kind of cool it all off again. Inhale, look forward, and we're going to step our way forward again to the top of the mat. So you can hop, you can jump, you can step, you can float. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it all go, coming into that forward fold. And breathe. Inhale, we're going to root to rise. So spreading the fingertips, reaching the arms up as we stand up. Fingers come to kiss overhead. Exhale, bring your hands together through the midline, coming into this mountain pose. Take a couple breaths here just to reground and to reflect. Feel the energy moving through your body, just in what we've done so far. And we're really trying to embody this warrior prototype, I guess I should say. And after your next exhale, you can let your arms go. All right, so we are going to try, so that we've done warrior 1 and we've done warrior 2. So now we're going to get into warrior 3. Now warrior 3, for anyone that is joining me that's a beginner, I'll give some different modifications. Please take them. Dog hair in my mouth. I don't want anyone to get injured at all, so don't push yourself further than what you feel comfortable with. Again, listen to your intuition. If this is new to you, great. Embrace it, try it out, have fun with it. If you fall out, laugh at yourself, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you can't go into the full pose. Certain days I can't go into the full pose. So just really give yourself grace, try it out, have fun with it. Really, it's fun to try something new. So we're really going to embrace these new beginnings. So think of it as that. I'm going to go ahead and get my blocks ready at the front of the mat here. So I'm going to put mine on the largest setting right now. So go ahead and step your left foot back, but keep your toes on the floor here. So keep a little bend in this right knee, toes on the floor, hips squared forward. Now you can keep your hands at your hips here. If you'd like, you can start to hinge at your hips a little bit, bringing your back forward. Keep a nice straight line through your back, so don't round, don't collapse. Nice and straight. Now maybe right here is perfectly okay for you, and if it is, stay there. If you want to try and go a little bit further, You can bring your hands to the blocks, and then you can start to lift that left foot up off the ground. Keep your toes pointed down towards the ground. Now, if you'd like to try it without the blocks, you can. You would just hinge at the hips. So if you'd like to try it without the blocks, just hinge down at your hips. Keep looking forward. Keep your toes dialed down. Make sure your dog doesn't knock you off balance. Now, your hands can stay at your hips. You can even bring your hands on the Fritz, to your blocks, to your heart space. You can do airplane arms with the fingertips reaching back, or you can come to the full expression of the pose, which your hands are going to reach forward and you're going to breathe. Wherever you're at, take one more breath. And on an exhale, come to stand in a mountain pose at the top of your mat. Shake out that left foot or your right foot. Woo. So if you fell out of it, don't feel bad. Just keep playing. Just keep trying. That's all you can do. You can keep playing and you can keep trying and you can keep progressing in that manner. And again, it's going to depend on the day. Your balance is going to be different every single day. I'm going to reset up my blocks since Fritz messed them up. And then, if you're not already in mountain pose, come to mountain pose. We'll just take a breath here. You can sigh it out and let it go if it really frustrated you too. Alright, so go ahead and shift the weight to your left foot and then just step the right foot back. Keep your toes on the ground. Again, you can stay here. Or you can start to hinge forward. Keep a slight bend in that left foot. You don't want it locked out. So keep a nice bend. And then you can stay here if you'd like. You can lower further so your hands meet the blocks. Or you can keep hinging and lifting those right toes off the ground. Keep the right toes pointed down so your hips should be both of your hip points should be square towards the floor. Again, you can leave your hands at your waist. You can then bring them into like a namaste at your heart center. You can send them behind you like in airplane arms. Or you can reach your arms forward, coming into that full warrior three. If you're feeling that shake, that heat, just stay with it, breathe through it. If you fall out, that's okay. Try again. Like I just did. I'm going to come back into it real quick. I'm going to do one more breath here and then we'll move on. All right, on your next exhale, go ahead and return back up towards the top of your mat to that mountain pose. Loop your shoulders up, back and down, and breathe. All right. Give yourself a clap. Good job. Good job for attempting it. Don't get frustrated if you fell out or if it just didn't work out. There's always tomorrow. You can try it again. You can do it multiple times. If it's brand new, good job for just trying and playing with it and sticking with it. All right. We're going to move on a little bit from our warrior poses. So we're going to clear some energy. We have that full moon coming in. Let's clear some of this past energy. Let's get rid of it so we can embrace these new beginnings that are coming in with this Aries in a full moon, or this full moon in Aries, I guess I should say, backwards. All right, so take your feet as wide as the mat, or not as wide as the mat, but wide. And then we're going to start to do kind of a little bit of tapping. We're gonna, if you've done my videos before, you know I like this one. So go ahead and you'll come up on the ball joint of your toes and you'll just kind of swing your arms side to side. Now you can let the arms match your booty as you move side to side. You can also bring one arm up to come across your chest and one to your back. So this is called knocking on heaven's door, or that's what I've heard it called in yoga. This is also used in Qigong to break up any stagnant energy and to move it. And you can go as fast as you'd like, so you can go really, really fast, or you can take it a bit slower. And when you're coming across and tapping yourself, either on your hips and booty or up across your chest and back, and you can go in between the two. I like to do both. Don't like beat yourself up. Don't be mean to yourself. Don't like hit yourself. But just, it's a tap. So like if you're at a concert and there's somebody in front of you who's really tall and just in the way, and they come and just stand in front of you, like kind of the pressure that you would use to get their attention, like, hey, scoot. So we'll just go back and forth. Again, go at your own pace, keep breathing, and then we'll start to slow it down. Take the arms away from the body and slow it down and bring it back until you're back in stillness, and breathe. Feel that energy rush through you. Close your eyes. I close my eyes. They didn't really guide you to do that, but if it feels good to you, then do that. All right. Now we're going to start to take up some space, and we're going to do this confidently. So this full moon in Aries asks us to get comfortable taking up space. So we're going to practice here. We're going to practice on our mat so we can take it off the mat into our lives. So again, make sure your feet are nice and wide. You can bring your hands to start at your hips if you'd like. Take a nice breath in, breath out. You can sigh, you can just breathe out, whatever feels good to you. And when you're ready, we're going to stretch our arms out and wide. So we're coming into this nice star pose or starfish pose. Take up space. Keep your chest nice and lifted. So this is also kind of like a power pose. I know a lot of times when your hands are in your hips, it's like the Superman pose or super person pose, I'll call it. It's a little different. We're taking up more space. So we're still exuding that same confidence, but we're taking up space in our environment. Embodying that star. After your next exhale, go ahead and lower your arms down at your sides. And we are going to invert our position. So we're upright, now we're going to go upside down. So we're going to see things a different way. So sometimes when we're looking at things the same way, we can get stuck. Let's do an inversion so we can maybe look at things differently and come up with new solutions and new ideas to maybe problems that we have or patterns that we can't seem to overcome and we keep repeating over and over. So nice big inhale in, and then on an exhale, keep your hands out on the sides of your legs, and we're going to hinge at the hips and come forward and come all the way down. So we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. This is another place where if you have a block, you can use the block to bring the ground up to you. Or if your hands touch the mat, you can go ahead and bring your hands to the mat and then release your head and neck. You can shake it out a little bit. You'll want to work eventually to get your hands closer to the arches of your feet. And just breathe, let it go. You can look behind you, see if there's anything interesting going on. I see my wall is really dirty from is slower, so I should probably clean that up eventually. Now on your next inhale, walk your hands forward a little bit and then start to bend through your knees. Now turn one foot out, then turn the other foot out, and then start to lower down. So we're going to come into like a yogic squat or god or goddess pose. So you can walk your feet in like I'm doing, and then you can sit your behind down, and then you can bring your palms into, excuse me, go sit down, a namaste pose with the hands at your chest. Maybe, go on, and your elbows in between your knees, kind of pressing out. Now, if your bum does not come to the ground, you can come and sit on a block and do this. Or if this doesn't feel good for you down here, just come up. So we're really opening up through the hips. So really go to where it feels comfortable to you. Lift the chest and the neck up and breathe. And when you're ready, swing one hand behind you and then the other, and then come to a seat. Good job, everyone. I know that's a lot. Let me move all my stuff out of the way here. All right. So from here, let's go ahead and roll onto our backs. Let's start to cool it down. You can bring your knees into your chest, and you can kind of rock side to side. Open up a lot through the hips. Move some energy around. We took up space. We were bold. We were brave. We tried new things. Right, when you're ready, go ahead and extend that left leg out long across the ground. Bring that right knee in. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your right knee, and I like to place my right foot like on the opposite thigh. And then we're going to turn that knee towards the left side. So we're coming into a twist. My right arm is extended out straight. My left hand is just on top of my right knee. It's not pushing down, it's not forcing it. Make sure that both of your shoulder blades are connecting to the floor. If like this right shoulder blade starts to lift up at all, come out of the twist a little bit. So you should feel a nice twist in your mid to lower back here. And breathe. Go ahead and return back to center. Bring both knees back into your chest again. We'll take a couple breaths here to compare both sides. And when you're ready, extend your right leg down and then take your left arm out to your side, and then we're going to twist that left foot over across that right side of the body and breathe. After your next exhale, go ahead and return back to center, bringing both knees in one last time. Take just a couple breaths here again. And go ahead and squeeze into a little ball. Tighten up all your muscles. So flex your feet, tighten your fist, squeeze everything in, bring your head and neck in, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And on your next exhale, let it all go, sending the feet out wide and long, hands out at 45 degrees. And we're going to come into our final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. So make any adjustments you need to set up to be comfortable. If you're chilly, you can grab a blanket. I know some people like to put like a bolster underneath their thighs to kind of rest on. You can bring your blanket, if you have one, under your neck as like a pillow, and you can kind of tent it so it blocks out some of the sun, and kind of tuck it in around your head and neck. So again, whatever feels good to you today. Set up in your most comfortable Shavasana. Then when you're ready, just let it all go. Relax. Close down the eyes. Focus on your breath. And really feel the benefits of your practice marinating through your body. I'm going to go quiet for just a little bit while you rest in Shavasana, but like always, I will keep track of the time and I will guide you out of the Shavasana shortly. So for those of you that have practiced with me, you know that I always pull an oracle card for every practice, and those of you that are new, I always pull an oracle card for practice. So the card I pulled for today's practice was Starfish Spirit, and this message is open to infinite possibility. So it says, stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out towards the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, Starfish Spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish Spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. It's a really nice message before going into this next season. So if you are able to stay in Shavasana, stay as long as time allows you. If you are ready to go and go on with the rest of your day, then slowly start to deepen your breath. You can start to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing some movement into them. And then go ahead and place your feet on the ground, bending at the knees. When you're ready, go ahead and roll over to your favorite side and come to rest in a fetal position. And we'll just take a couple breaths here. ready, go ahead and slowly push yourself into a seated position, bringing your head and neck up last. Thank you so much for spending your time and your energy with me today and your yoga practice with me today. Thank you for allowing me to guide you on this practice. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. This is going to be released only on my Patreon account for right now. So if you are watching it here, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you think this would be good for anyone you know, please share my information with them. I really appreciate it. Helps me to grow this channel in this practice, I guess. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and happy full moon in Aries. Namaste.